Here, so I spent the last year really slowing down and reconnecting with myself. I am very excited for everyone to meet the real me.
Well, this guy Anthony Starr is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no matter what I feel about this season, this man right here, always love it when he's on the screen. Well, people, back again, the highly anticipated season 3 of The Boys. And them boys been holding it down for a little bit. You know, actually had, for all the infighting and just craziness that has gone on with this team of soup fighters, that's superhero fighters, they actually have been, they must have been doing a good job. Because all these superhero and superhuman incidents are down. People are actually gone on to their separate ways. People are actually improving their life. If you know the characters from the show, you know Butcher is the lead guy, the head of the boys, who is a soup hunter. You know, he's had a hard-on for these soups ever since he's lost his family to them, and since then he says, I gotta kill every last one of them. But now he's like, well, shit, you know.
If they behaving themselves.
Yeah, they acting all right, so you know what, I can finally start getting my life together. You know, I actually like one of them. They got a little soup kid over here, the son of his most hated enemy, Homelander. He says, well, and technically that's my son right there. I'm cool with him. Got to be a father figure. You know what? Might stop drinking too. Other characters have gone on try to get back with their families or make amends with their families. They got relationships. They got new jobs. They just trying to live like not normal but quieter lives. But quiet lives, that's boring. Shit, if these soups are acting right, then you ain't got no show.
Sure.
Then what the hell am I watching this for if they behaving? That's not the point. And we want to see soups be assholes, man. We want to see them do things to humans, vile things like murder, and get away with it. And of course, you want to see, well, we just want to see Homelander be Homelander, talking about assholes, you know? That says it all. Homelander is shit, that's almost like a name now. That's almost like an insult. Martin, you a Homelander.
You take that back.
Yeah, Homelander is a new term for
Homelander.
It's a slur.
That's a new term for asshole.
Right.
Yeah, man. But here's like I said, if we don't have these soups acting up, then we don't have the show. And fortunately, something happens that get these superhumans acting a fool again. Now we got to get the boys back together. And also, you know, look, this is the 3rd season. These superhumans that we've seen, even Homelander, that's old news now. You know, where's that new shit? Where's that suit that's a bigger asshole than Homelander? We got all that and more in this new season 3 of The Boys.
Here, so I spent the last year really slowing down and reconnecting with myself. I am very excited for everyone to meet the real me.
Well, this guy Anthony Starr is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no matter what I feel about this season, this man right here, always love it when he's on the screen.
There's something wrong with Homelander.
I mean, they fucking love me.
That's great delivery.
I tell you, listen, first of all, this is going to be a no spoiler discussion because we did get all 8 episodes of this season. And it is 8 episodes.
When does it release? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to kind of elaborate and reiterate on what I was saying a little while ago. So things are kind of cool right now, just a little bit. Like it looks like they're getting this soup thing under control. Soup incidents have been down 60% thanks to this Federal Bureau of Superhuman Activities. Now that the government is in on this and they have a branch looking at it, they've been able to kind of keep things, if not under wraps, at least under control. Huey now works for the Federal Bureau of Superhuman Activities. And it's good for him because, you know, he's helped bringing this whole superhuman thing, all these incidents under control without having to get covered in a bunch of blood and guts and body parts.
Oh, that was half the fun of it.
That was it. You know what was wrong with him? He just didn't get it. This is a stick in the mud. He'd rather be a suit, working at an office job. But hey, it is working for him, and he's actually working for a woman, a congresswoman named Victoria Newman, who has been bringing the whole superhero or superhuman thing out into the forefront and letting people know just how dangerous that is. But the thing that all these folks don't realize, but we know, the audience, is that thing is, nobody knows that she has this ability to, just a little thing to explode heads.
Yeah, right.
And when Huey finds out, that's when shit gets crazy again. And as if that weren't enough, the first soup ever, and that is not Homelander, that would actually be somebody named, and we've heard about this character, and he's finally out there, the first soup, Soldier Boy. They dug him back up. And as the only one who can stop Homelander, they think they can use him as a weapon, because Homelander still is out there no matter how all of this is under control. He's still crazy.
Oh,
He's
crazier.
He is still a high risk. And they think that this man right here can stop him. The only thing is, he could be a bigger problem than Homelander. It's like, have y'all not listened to Butcher at all? He said, even he says, you once we're done with him, we got to do something with him.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
yet.
right off the bat, Soldier Boy, yes, this is a problem. Matter of fact, this might be a bigger problem already.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, it's they look. I tell you this with this season, they do manage to always make the stakes higher, man. They always know how to bring in bigger threats. Last season it was Stormfront. Mm-hmm. This season it might be. You don't know when you're watching it. Hey, because this guy shows promise. There are certain things that he can do that can actually very much weaken all these soups out here. But at the same time, he's just another guy with superpowers that thinks that humans are beneath him.
Yes, he's another asshole with superpowers.
He's another asshole, and a bigger and stronger asshole, possibly, than Homelander. A lot of this they don't show you in this season. They don't show you in the episodes. A lot of this background. They tried to do this by putting out episodes of, just extra content. Little side videos. Like within the show, they got something that's the equivalent of Fox News, something like the Hannity Hour or Tucker Carlson. They got something called the Coleman Hour. And you might have seen these popping up on YouTube, and they kind of fill in the gaps. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so, when you get into the show, if you don't remember anything, it might be good to go and brush up with one of these. I don't think, they're not that amazing, but they will help you get caught up a little bit.
As Dolly is swept up into Termite's world, action and hilarity ensue. Bond executive Ashley Barrett described the show as a gritty reality series that will do for soups what other shows have done for cops.
So this is all related to the show. Like at first it seemed like that these were just kind of like almost like Marvel one-offs. Mm-hmm. But because they got so much to cover within the show, they put it in these things right here. And they do have something to do with the storylines that you'll see. So if you go and watch this, it'll help get you prepared for everything that they do in this season right here. But listen, out of everything that's going on, there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of stuff that's happening, and it's great. But the one that is still, and I already said this, the one that is still stealing every scene that he walks in, just pretty much running with the show, is Anthony Starr as Homelander, man. He's before he kind of had he was scary but charming, kind of funny too. As this character becomes more insecure, as this character becomes more unsure of himself, the more dangerous he gets. In this season, he is terrifying, man.
Thank you. I was like,
ain't shit funny no more.
Exactly,
No,
exactly. Yeah, it used to be kind of fun to watch him, even though he was dangerous. He had the potential to do things. Now he's at a point where I was like, my stomach is in knots every time he's on, and I'm not enjoying it. Anthony Starr is doing a great job of acting, but this character, I'm like, nah.
this dude, man.
He's got to go.
He is a horror movie every time he
Yep.
walks on. I'm like you, because usually we say, man, I'm nervous every time he comes on screen, but he funny, he crazy. No, every time he walks on screen, he has the potential to hurt or kill somebody, man. This dude is terrifying. And that's great for this.
Yeah.
Because now he's a guy that,
He's playfully sadistic but unhinged.
imagine your worst bully with Superman powers. That's this guy.
Yeah.
He's a bully unleashed.
Yeah.
Because in this season, he's slowly gaining more power because he's being underestimated. Everybody thinks they have control over old Homelander. Oh, he ain't got shit on me. Don't y'all worry about it. He ain't gonna try to test me. And every time somebody does, it always ends horribly, man.
It really makes me go, why did they ever feel comfortable around him in the first place? Ever?
Yes. He's worse than a bully. At times he's a bully. At times he's a child throwing temper tantrums.
Yeah.
And again, this dude is the most powerful being in the world. And he's beginning. And the scariest thing about it, he's starting to realize that slowly but surely. Where everybody would, because the only thing they had against him is that they were in his head.
Yeah. Oh, we could use his ego against him, but he's outgrown that.
And the thing that made me so nervous, thing that had me pissing my pants almost every time he's on the screen, because he is very insecure. And now people start to recognize that. And people who hate him, they start telling him, I recognize you for what you are right now. You ain't shit. You're just an insecure little baby you always have. And I was just like, please stop saying that to him.
I know, right?
Stop.
I know.
I said, you're not helping.
Yeah, you're just like, so I guess you just decided you want to die?
There are characters in this show that are kissing his ass. And you watch the show, and you for a moment you start thinking, man, look at these pussies over here. You think like, oh shit, I'd be doing the same goddamn thing. Yes, sir, Mr. Homelander. No, sir, Miss whatever you want, Mr. Homelander.
But he's one of those people, you could kiss his ass, but in the middle of kissing his ass, you might say something that you think is innocent or complimentary, and he'll turn on you.
People just ask,
what's that supposed to mean? You're like, oh shit, man. I'm just saying you're great.
Yeah.
But I'm not the best though, huh? I mean, yeah, you are. No, it took you too long.
That's not what you said.
People just ask him questions,
Yep.
and he just immediately like, the is that supposed to mean? What am I? I'm just some fucking idiot here. What? I'm not smart enough to do my job right. And be like, no, that's not what I meant
mean at all.
Wow, people, this is terrifying. I mean, if nothing else, if you don't watch the show for anything else, watch it for Homelander. Homelander is continuing to be the best character on the show, and really, it's like watching a horror movie at this point with him. It's man, and he is pathetic, but you can't tell this person he's pathetic. No. A pathetic person with these kind of powers is extremely horrifying.
But you don't really know how to get on his good side either.
He has no good side because he's insecure.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, he's going to take it. He's going to take it as an insult.
Uh-huh. And he's somewhat impulsive too.
And let me just give the actor Anthony Starr some credit here, man. What makes him so great is that he just has a way of contorting his face when he becomes angry, irritated, and so when he's walking around trying to intimidate people, he has this smile that he does, and you don't know if that smile. And at this point, none of it is good.
Yeah,
he's not happy at all. But he just had this thing where when he comes around and smiles around people, or when he says, "Hey, lighten up. It's okay." If he's saying lighten up, that means he's this much closer to killing you.
Usually he says lighten up because he knows he's did something or said something really fucked up.
Well, yeah, at this point...
But he's not feeling bad about it.
No, not at all. At this point, he really is going around and bullying people and throwing his weight around. You know, he's a guy that knows he's the most powerful person. Now, he's not humble about it at all. In fact, he's very dangerous with it. I tell you, speaking of powers, man, I'm not going to tell you what happens with this. I'm just going to say that there's a power in here, and only a show like this could do it this way. Thank God. We finally see a show with teleporting powers where people's clothes and shoes ain't teleporting with them.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's clever. Yeah, finally,
there's a power in here where people are teleporting and they're completely naked.
Right.
Ass all out. And that's the only, one of these shows, the only way you can do it.
Well, they don't have a Reed Richards who can make their clothes out of unstable molecules.
Yeah. Go ahead and explain all that shit. They're like, we ain't doing all that. These people ain't got time to make these kind of clothes. All these people are assholes and,
Well, that was always
blue
the
collar.
thing. Like with Transparent, when he would turn invisible, he would be completely naked.
That's true.
Because they're
Yeah.
like, well, clothes can't turn invisible too.
No, that's exactly it. But you know what? Speaking of Homelander, what's the actor's name that plays Soldier Boy?
Jensen Echols.
Jensen Echols, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, he's great too, because he is the complete. They're both assholes, him and Homelander. But as far as that, they're the antithesis of each other.
Sure.
Because
I mean,
the reason why this works so much with Homelander versus Soldier Boy. So Homelander, all of the just the evil things that he does comes from him being so insecure. Soldier Boy is like the ultimate toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
He's all about being a man. He's all about that period that he grew up in, where man was man.
yeah.
He'll
call you a pussy in a second.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, if you say it so many times, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, this dude thinks Cosby was the ultimate man. Make some strong drinks, though. Yeah, he's the one that, he's too confident almost. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the kind of guy, if you give him enough power, he's, like, if he can run things, he's going to go around and kill all the gay people first.
Wow. Sure. Well, it's interesting because he's, a perverted Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's always that thing people say, like, how did Captain America land here from the 40s and he's not
And he
prejudiced?
ain't no racist at all. Yeah. No,
Steve was different, Martin.
No, this dude is. And I will tell you, there's certain people, I'm not going to say who, but there's certain people who have a big problem with this guy because of his racism.
Can imagine.
you can probably, I'll let you figure that on your own, but somebody's like, nah, this asshole has got to go. This big, y'all can call him whatever you want to. You can call him sexist. You can call him toxic masculinity. This motherfucker racist.
Yeah.
And he's got to go. But, Jensen Ackles, man, he's so good in this role.
Sure.
He really is. He's so great, man. And it was great watching him in the series because he's, where Homelander will go around and say little backhanded, snide things and really mean very intimidating things by it. This guy's just like a big frat boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize he's actually saying certain things.
I mean, he will insult you to your face. There's nothing backhanded about it.
No.
But if you don't mess with him, you can let him go and live his life, and you can live yours.
Like Homelander will you.
Yes.
This dude's motto is like, just stay out of my way.
Yep.
So when you watch this, people, I'm not going to tell you what happens here, but you cannot wait for these two to meet each other, Homelander and this guy, because you just want to know what's going to happen.
Sure.
With this. Hey, look, maybe they'll see each other and be like, we are the two strongest people in the world. Why are we
let's
listening
take
to
over.
these people? Or it may be like...
two cats.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Soldier Boy might look at Homeland and be like, you a bitch.
Frosted tips, really?
Yeah. Since they have more money and now that they have people who are watching the show and it's a bona fide hit, they're doing this. It's almost like they're experimenting now. They have a whole animated sequence in here. That's part of the show. They play around a lot with like Disney type animation in this. How? Well, you'll see. Also, a lot of dicks. I'm just gonna let y'all know this opens up, and I mean opens up with dick this season, man. This is the one where they can actually push that mature rating, man. There's a super orgy in this. This is the first time I've seen it.
There's two, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
But they keep promoting the second one because it's based on the comic book loosely. Very loosely.
Well, they have some super orgies going on in here, and people, this is the first time I've seen outside of a show or a movie that's porn. This is the first time outside of porn that I've been able to see like anus, and just a regular show.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you see,
surprising.
I'm telling you, see taint, anus, and everything, man, and it's right there. they not alluding to it. They ain't fuzzing. They ain't trying to fuzz it out or digitize it out. They put an asshole right in your face.
Yeah, they're giving it to you. All right.
I think there are some things that just aren't working as well as they were before, and it's not anything that they're doing bad. It's just that they were doing it, and then before it was like, oh wow, you're doing that. I mean, I guess, the nudity that I'm seeing right now, I'm just like, all right, that's kind of interesting. But, before I get into the negative aspect of things, I'll tell you what I do think they're doing well here. There's some nice satire that they do here because they're pretty much, at this point, they're making fun of the state of the country.
Yes.
Yeah, in this, there's and you'll see it when you watch the show. There's you even saw it with some of in some of the trailer right here. There's conspiracy theorists run amok. They're making fun of the QAnon crowd out there. They're incorporating social issues like Supes patrolling black neighborhoods with too much force. Racism is on the rise. And the timing is good or bad for this because, now they're targeting the gun nuts out there. Mm-hmm. Both with Supes and with the gun culture. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's exactly clever because they're just taking something that happened. Because while they're making fun of the right-wing nuts, they're also making fun of some of the ultra-liberal mistakes or faux pas or embarrassing things that people have done on social media. There's a couple of them. I'm not going to tell you everything, but like you saw in the trailer right here, they make fun of that Jenner girls. Kendall Jenner, that Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a. And they don't try to hide it. They're very straight.
They're blatant about it to a point where they're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you're just recreating this. You could have taken your own twist on it.
Yeah.
They could have. There's that, and there's another thing they do is like, okay, you just kind of recreating that. It would have been cool if you put your own spin on it. I think right now. They're doing stuff here, and they still think it's shocking, and it's kind of not now, all the violence that they do. Because they do stuff here, and they just kind of put the camera on it to show you like, ooh, we didn't we? And it's like, all right, the violence is not as shocking as it used to be anymore. You did it, and it was like, wow, this show is going pretty hard, man. And now it's just kind of like, okay, well, this is just kind of, this is what you do.
Yeah, the way it's less clever and more gory and shocking, I feel like this season has shifted more toward the comic book.
I like some of the things they did with A-Train, but there was a lot going on, and A-Train felt like they finished the story, but it still felt like when it finally came around to like wrapping things up, he was kind of left out a little bit. But I do like his story because A-Train is put in a position where it's like you could see him trying to do the right thing, but this guy continues to be one of the most selfish bastards on this show. And that's what I liked about it. Like the moment you think that A-Train's gonna do the right thing,
never think that.
It's never think. He's all about his endorsements. He's all about trying to get to that next race. He's all about his fame. He's all about his brand. And they do something very interesting with that because he finally comes around and starts saying, I need to do something for the community. And it's A-Train. It don't ever work out. And A-Train, because he's a black character on the show, like I want to be behind his brother, but I can't stand it. I'm starting to hate this character, which is what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I do like about the show. They have these characters where they get you to feel in for them in a certain way because they do have small sympathetic parts about them. Homelander, I have no more sympathy. No, I have no more sympathy for that guy. None. It's gone. Yeah. He's a sad case, but he's too dangerous. A-Train, there was a moment I was feeling for him, and I can't stand this dude, man.
Yeah. You know who else got on that dude list?
Huey.
No.
Oh. Who?
Butcher.
Oh. But
that's been a long time coming, though.
Yeah,
I know. But I would feel like I was the last holdout.
I never liked Butcher, man.
Yeah, he's as crazy as them.
I never liked Butcher. Butcher is so cold-hearted, and he's starting to bring people.
Well, I also feel like because they want to have Butcher doing the V. Mm-hmm. I felt like in writing him, he did things that were, and I see this in movies all the time, where they'll make a character do something that's out of character or against their self-interest just so it advances the plot where they wanted to go. And I felt like he was doing that in this.
Well, definitely him with the...
And man, we can't talk about something. It was one thing he did. I was like, this is obvious where this is going to go with what you're doing right now. And it doesn't make sense except that they need this to happen.
You know, I want to know what that thing is because they did say in this, and this is no secret. Like he's taking V, compound V, compound
He's
V,
a temporary V.
Yeah, for people don't know the compound V, it's what makes the soups what they are. Now I'm not going to tell you what the compound does or anything. I'm not going to tell you what the effects are. I'm not going to tell you what the overall lasting effects of it are. But he's taking his compound V, and I think that is probably it's actually like a drug that is not making him think straight. And you know, again, it's the least I say about it, the better. But I think that that's what's affecting his judgment. And also, he's become so consumed with doing things, and plus he's starting to things are getting caught up from his past. That I think that's clouding a lot of his judgment too. Like they are going more into his background.
Yeah.
And his background is not good, and they're showing the driving force of what's making him so. That's making him so angry. He's corrupted Huey just a little bit now.
Yeah, Huey did not get on my guy list, but he hovered around it quite a bit.
Huey pissed me off.
Yes.
Huey's still a bitch.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now see, last season I was saying he was a bitch. You're like, man, he's traumatized. Leave the boy alone. And I'm like, he's kind of a bitch.
But he's got. I'll just say this: he's got relationship problems that are going on, and he's the whiniest bitch than he's ever been. Mm-hmm. Maeve, who's a lesbian but does something very unlesbian-like in here, and it's actually to show you how just lonely and pathetic this character has come, and traumatized this character has come. Maeve, who plays this character? Do you know?
I don't, but I never got the impression that Maeve was lesbian. She just seems bisexual.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we see her with a girlfriend, but that doesn't mean that, you know. I mean, I always figure her sexuality was fluid.
Yeah, but she's totally a wreck at this point, and it's kind of cool because
but Butcher is really a bad influence.
No, Butcher's a bad that's
on
another
everybody.
thing. Yep. Butcher's a bad influence on the soups now.
Yeah,
and the thing about Butcher, somebody said, okay, yeah, she's bi, but man, the actress who plays her, man, I wish I could figure out her name. I think she's Dominic McElligott is the actress's name, but she is really good in this because Butcher is being a bad influence on her, and she's already a wreck.
Yeah,
and that's what makes Butcher so despicable. Butcher. Like, at some point, I feel for some of these soups, man, that are trying to help, that have actually realized I've made mistakes, you know, I don't want to be this anymore. And he still has these blinders on that's saying, no, they all got to die.
Right.
But he don't.
You too.
Yeah, you too. But he don't mind using them, and he doesn't mind the dangers that they put him in. Butcher's such a piece of shit, man. And that comes across in the show. They say you don't mind who you get killed to get what you want. Mm-hmm. I felt bad for her character, man, with him.
I mean, you kind of feel bad for everybody in his orbit.
You really do, man. And they are getting tired of his shit too. You know, but the girl that plays is it Starlight?
Yeah. Erin Moriarty.
Yeah, she is actually one of the people that has come in and taken real control this season. Like, she has such a bigger part here so for anybody who looked at the females on the show and been like, they're always playing victims, they're emotional wrecks, they're girlfriends, they're sex objects. I don't know if that was a conscious effort to go against that criticism. I don't even know if that criticism was there, you know, a lot for this show. But for those who did want to see these characters come up, she is really taking the reins this show, man. I really like Mother's Milk. I love his story arc this season.
Yeah.
The thing with him is that, and this, man, because at first I thought, oh, here we go again, you know, black dude leaves, wife marries a white guy on these shows. You know, that's how it always happens. Yeah. Man, his wife, and this made me mad, and I don't know if this is bad writing or if this is to just piss people like me off, but he's divorced. His wife is remarried. His wife is black, but she married this white guy. Okay, no big deal. But this white guy is an inch away from being one of these extreme right-wingers, and probably an inch away from after that being like a white nationalist.
Uh-huh.
And he has to look at that, and he is so pissed. He's like, "Hey, look, my wife can do whatever she wants to do, but my daughter has to be around that guy."
Right? Yeah. You taking her to these rallies? Are you?
Yeah, it's taking her to Homelander rallies.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how bad Homelander is, so he can't say everything, but he does.
Yeah.
And he's even saying, "Look, I don't have to." You don't have to know everything about Homelander to know that this guy's insane. I mean, if nothing else, these rallies are dangerous. Don't be taking my daughter to those.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "What's the big deal?"
Yeah. Well, if you were here.
Yeah. You don't ever say anything like that to this dude.
Yeah, you just look at that dude. You're like, I'm not going.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
This dude is so crazy. He's ready to, and he's gonna lose, but he's ready to bare knuckle fight Soups. Shit, when his gun runs out, he ain't got nothing else to do. He's like, come on. It's like, are you crazy? He was actually making me mad.
Yeah.
Everything is black pride with him. He wears it on his shirts. His house is decorated with black pride.
I know the way his house is decorated. You do that scan of his house. I was like, Mother's Milk, come on, man. We get it.
This motherfucker he's got framed pictures of afros. And then the wife goes off. I mean, maybe I can't blame her. Maybe that black pride was too much. She had to marry that guy.
Yeah,
she's like, I gotta marry a corny white guy.
She had a detox.
She needed a palate cleanser.
Yeah, she needed a black cleanse. Rinse off with this whiteness. She married ultra white, ultra bright. Frenchie and is it Kiko or Kamiko, man. They definitely have a bigger story here. Now, would that story be needed like the dangerous part of their subplot? Probably not. It's probably not. They're probably doing more story with that than they need to be. But it does. Frenchie and Kamiko, whatever is that?
Yeah.
They're the heart of this season.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I agree with the dichotomy of everything you said, where they are the heart of the season, and yet it did feel like their story was just kind of we got to give them something to do.
Yeah.
Spinning their wheels. Kind of.
Well, as much as like we go into Frenchie's backstory, not really.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like I don't. When it's all said and done, I don't know much more about him than I did before.
Surface level.
They just have they have a story with them, and it really does feel like, well, we want to give them character, we want to explore their character, so let's just give them sort of just a loose subplot.
Yeah.
That has nothing really to do with this story here. Well, actually, it does a little bit, but they could have done it without having to go as far as they did with this story.
Yeah, that's what I thought also. Because it's all to get the MacGuffin, and it's a long set of travels to get to this thing.
It really
where I was
is,
like,
man.
I don't think we needed to do all of this.
I laughed my ass off, man. Kind of go back to A-Train in Homelander. Homelander messes with a lot of people. Like I said, he bullies a lot of people, and I did not laugh at a lot of that because it was just, again, terrifying. But I laughed every time he with A-Train, man. Because A-Train would he would say something. First of all, he was just picking on A-Train.
Yes, he was.
Just kind of just picking on him for no reason. Like if he was having a bad day, he'd tell A-Train, come here with your little fat ass, come here,
Yeah.
and look at you, no wonder you can't run no more. And then, but what's funny about A-Train would they walk away. And you're like, yeah, thanks, Homelander. Then you walk away like, man, what'd you say? Because he's got super hearing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You say?
I forgot about that.
There's a lot of people that forget that he has super hearing.
Yeah, all the time people were talking, I was like, you don't know this good hearing? What are you doing?
Yeah. And he tells people just do things. They don't even have to say anything. Like people trying to pull phones, and he's like, I hear you with that phone over there. Put it away. And it's like everybody forgets, like, oh yeah, he can hear that shit. It's a little writing like that is what makes that character so great and what makes part of this show so great here.
Oh yeah, speaking of that guy list, the Deep ended up on that too.
I mean, isn't he always on that list?
Deep's always gonna be on that.
But the Deep had gotten to that point where he was that guy, but then he was just so pathetic and really kind of funny despite the despicable, unforgivable thing he did. Mm-hmm. And then this season, no, he kind of went back to
he went back to that.
Yeah,
he regressed again.
I mean, he's still just as pathetic, but it's just now he's pathetic in a way. I'm like, I can't even look at you right now.
Yeah,
damn.
the Deep has gone back into being like this completely horrible character, man. I'm trying to find. There he is. He's back to being horrible. He's back to being just the most perverted character on the show.
Look at that octopus.
Yeah, he get off to fish and everything.
Yeah.
But he's just.
I mean, he's got gills, so I don't know how much you can say it's perverted.
No,
but-
that's true. That's true. Well, the things that he wants to do with those things with other people when there is, but yeah, listen. Some of these people are just meant to be hated on this show.
Yeah.
And they do a great job at that because you hate some of these people.
Yeah.
This guy, it's not that he's just, well, first of all, he's a sexual assaulter, but he's just a sniveling little weasel, man, a
Yes.
kiss ass. Like, I know people have to do what Homelander says, but wow, man, not as hard as, he's all up in his ass.
He is.
They had a character that was always mysterious, always on the sidelines, always disappearing and coming back. He was the Batman of the crew, Black Noir. And they give him more story here. Yeah, they go into a lot of his background. And it's great because everything that you've tried to figure out about this character, if you ever wondered about, what is his origin, they go into it here. And it's harsh, man.
Also, if you read the comic, it's not that at all.
Okay. I didn't get that far with the comic.
I was just reading about it before we started the show. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some people saying finally some more Black Noir stuff. Yeah, that's what you've been waiting on. They finally did it, man. They got around to giving him more background and more story and making him actually more of a character, even when he can't speak. He's one of the few characters that you really do feel for.
Yeah, except that time he was trying to kill him in that neighborhood.
Yeah, like a Terminator. Jesus.
This dude thing.
Yeah, you remember how he was waiting on that roof across the street, just waiting for them to come outside?
Oh, yeah. I
For
forgot.
hours, just staring.
He was following him. Yeah. Well, you know what? He was doing his job at the time.
He's working with Giancarlo Esposito. That's Giancarlo Esposito's boy.
Yeah, he'd send him to do a job. He did what he had to do. He's one of the scariest characters on the team, but, he's actually one of the saddest, too, man. Well, they do set up every episode. At the end of it, they have a great cliffhanger. I believe it's that because I took a note of it here. That second episode is where you like, okay, holy shit, what's gonna happen here, man? There's a few twists that happen, things that you don't see coming. And it's actually with that, and I believe maybe 3 or 4. There's some things that you never really saw coming that you didn't think they would do, and they do, and they keep it coming back. At least for me, they did. I was like, man, I have my complaints here and there, but Jesus, they some of the stuff that they set up, that's what really matters with these shows, how the things they set up and what's going to be the follow through with that. And a lot of times with shows that set up something, they have some magical, conveniently written way to get out of it. No, here it's just more trouble. It just
keeps piling on.
It just keeps piling on, man. They don't go back and say, "Oh, well, it's gonna be all right." No, no, ain't shit gonna be all right.
Ain't shit gonna be all right.
I think I don't know if it's setbacks in as much as, I think with when you have Seth Rogen and is it Evan Goldberg, his producing partner. Sometimes you put them on things and they really relish on the violence and the sex and, the edginess and whatnot. And I don't know if they piled that on more, but I do think that they focus on it a lot. Like, look at what we did. Now, the nudity and the sex, I saw an asshole. I saw an anus. So that was like the most shocking thing to me. But the violence isn't doing it for me anymore. But sometimes they'll just do something that seems like it's so violent that it's almost
parody.
What's the word I'm looking for, man? It's a little too cold-hearted at times.
Yeah.
Too cruel again.
Yeah. It's like, man, this show is just very taking
Mean.
Mean-spirited.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, man, this show's gotten so much crueler than it was.
Yeah, and that was something I was even saying the last season, but I said, you know what, it's very good, and a lot of people loving it, and I'm not going to complain about it. It's what it is, man. That's what the show's about. But yeah, it just feels kind of numbing now, and just mean-spirited, the violence that's going on here, combined with some of just these characters that are driven by their cruelty. But when it works for that, it works. It works very well. Like I said, Homelander's I think he's one of the greatest villains out there right now. I would say this: the way they tackle the social issues here is very smart. Even though some of the other jokes in here are, as we said, are very obvious. Talking about how divided this country is. the way we've split up in these factions, the way, like I say, all these, racism and homophobia and sexism is on the rise. Nazis are actually coming out and, and saying who they are and being proud of it. We're having another season. All that they did here, that's set up for a good, I think that's a good way to set up next season. Because there is going to be another season. There's going to be that, they already, you look at this, you can tell there's going to be a season 4. I think that's a great setup. I think after that, we need to go ahead and end this. I think we kind of wrap.
4?
I think season 4. I think season 4 needs to wrap it up, man.
Okay.
I do, because they've upped the stakes so much that they're almost painted into a corner. I mean, if there's a way to end this happily, God bless you if you can find it.
Yeah, some of this is going to be tragic. I mean, I think they have set it up for that. Some of this is going to end up kind of tragic, depending on who you like and don't like. Some of this is going to be, I don't know, and that's the beauty of it, because they're dangling some strings right now. They're teasing some things where I have no idea. I'm like you, I have no idea what they're going to do with that. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. Keep me guessing. Otherwise the show is predictable. And I really can't predict what's going to happen next season. I'm just thinking we really are at a point now where I can see where we can bring an end to this. I don't think this needs to go on like 5 seasons or anything like that.
No. I feel like it might not be realistic unless, now that I think of a way they could, but I'd hate for them to go down the route of The Walking Dead.
Oh, no.
Where you just stay on way too long and then branch off into other spin-offs.
I mean, that's what they're doing, though. Amazon's already greenlit another spin-off series where it's about college.
Teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers. Yeah,
college.
College campus, like, the boys, if you will.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
He's...
He actually gets more.
No, it's good.
No, he gets more. He also... And like we say, he ain't playing nothing but the chicken man.
Yeah. Los Palos Hermanos right there.
Yeah, Dos Hermanos. They should just have me eating chicken in every show he's in. I mean, he's Gus in every show.
Space
but
Gus,
we never see him
superhero
eat
Gus.
the chicken.
That's true. He never does.
I will say this. There's a dude. They got a dude who plays a young Gus, I think. I'm not a young Gus, but a young...
Giancarlo Esposito.
A young
Edgar.
Stan Edgar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a dude playing young Stan Edgar. And... They don't even try to make him look like him.
Well, plus we knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
Your mama.
Yeah, man. Like the dude that they got, like if you look at this man, like he got curly hair, slick back and everything.
Yeah.
They got a dude with an afro, a mole on his face.
He got them all removed.
That could be it. But it's just a black dude who's going around talking like this.
This impression. Oh, that's great. I gotta check that out.
Dude with an ascot on a scarf, and he's like, "You do what I tell you, okay?"
Oh, that's
I was like, man, this fool ain't even close. Get out of here with this, man. The budget of the show definitely shows this season, man. They are getting more money to do more gory effects. I mean, I'll tell you this much: the gore that they do here, I might think like, okay, you're trying to do it too much just to show off, but man, the stuff that they do here is actually, I will say, it's impressive.
Well, I was just reading that they were even saying Eric Kripke, the showrunner, said just because of how successful it's been for the first 2 seasons, they got the green light and the money to do their version of the Herogasm storyline.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they do. There's a lot more soup effects. There's a lot more gore here, and the gore here is, like I say, it's pretty. If you're watching the show because you like the gore, and some of it I do, I'm just kind of, I'm just done with it. I'm just kind of, I don't need it. I don't need it that much, but it is effective and very creative. I mean, some of the things that they can do with these body parts in here, it's a lot of imagination that went into it. A lot of imagination that went into it. I actually, I talk about how I don't think they're just doing it now just to shock, and that shock is gone. But I am impressed with some of the creativity that they put into just like destroying people's bodies, man.
Yeah, they do that a lot, and I can certainly say I was like, oh, at least for the first 2 or 3 episodes. But it got to be it's so much casual murder in here, and it's not even like zap somebody and they go down. It's always a big like. The body explodes or cuts in half to where it's almost like, and it's done and no one is affected by it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so after a while, you're like, all right, this is just like you said, it's just kind of mean spirited and cold blooded, and I feel like it loses some of the impact
when it does work. Because I'm 100% with you on that. But when it does work, is that you'll see somebody put into a dangerous position, and
that's true,
and they are not getting out of it. Mm-hmm. and the thing is, if they're not getting out of it, they're probably going to die horribly. Mm-hmm. So that actually made me nervous. That's actually when the gore works, because they ain't just gonna take a bullet and be like, ooh, no, they're gonna go out in an explosion of guts.
Yeah,
and so for that, they do create some suspense with that. There's a lot of destruction in here. There's one city block that they kind of blow up, and I'm like, damn, y'all had the money to do that? That's pretty cool. I didn't think they didn't blow up a city block. No, I'm sorry. They didn't. With the people still there.
We're going to talk when this review is over.
What? The illusion is gone. Huh? Like my mother learned that Forrest Gump was not real. You mean they ain't really blow that shit up? No, get out. You crazy. I know what I saw. No, they ain't really, but the effect was impressive.
The thing is, I've been talking about the things I don't like about it, but the quality is still there. It's still one of the better shows on TV, certainly one of the better superhero shows. My fear is that they just wanted to lead things to a certain way, so they're making characters do things that I question. That said, it is, for the most part, the show that you want. If you've been somebody who's been a fan of the comics and mad that the show wasn't as accurate, well, this is sort of meeting you halfway there. So it's not so much that, this is bad. It's just that these characters aren't fun. Like these things that used to be kind of fun, they're not fun. Doesn't mean it's bad, a drop in quality. It's just, the way things are going. But it's more like it's just revealing what was already there. Just making it more in your face. From halfway point, I was like, because I thought I'm not going to be able to watch all these before it's time. Yeah. At that halfway point, I was quick to watch the next one. They knew how to, like you said, they knew how to end each episode to make me go like, okay, I got to see what happens next. And even at the end of the season, it's all right, how quickly can we get that fourth season going?
Yeah. What would you give it?
I'd give it a matinee.
Every episode, I was like, man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I still think, man, that it's so good when it's good. Like, there's so many great things that are in here. It's just kind of the novelty of some of the stuff wore off. For me, there's more good writing, more things to keep me engrossed in this, more things, more clever setups than there are bad things. I can look past because if it was just nothing but gore and violence that I didn't like, then I would probably be like, all right, this is getting very shallow right now. But they still have great writing that's going on, man. They still have great characters that they keep doing very interesting things with. These characters still have depth to them. Even some of this is what I respected about this, even some of your most vile characters have something going on with them. You might not feel sorry for them anymore, but I can see why you're a piece of shit. Yeah. I can see why you got here. I can see why you're mad. You're just somebody who just we can't afford to be mad, And they do dig deep with a lot of different characters right now. But for right now, I still enjoyed enough to give it a low full price. I was still into it. It's still my favorite superhero property that's out there. They're still able to do things because while I think they might be shocking people with gore and nudity and whatnot, they're still doing things that other superhero properties can't do, which makes them actually tackle things a different way or address things that we always question in other superhero properties that don't make sense, make a lot more sense here.
True.
So yeah, people, I enjoyed it. It's going to be coming out. The first 3 episodes, I think, are going to be coming out by the time you'll be watching this.
Okay.
But it is going to be a show that's coming out weekly.
Okay.
So we know everything. Y'all got to wait.
Well, I'm glad they sent us all of them because I hate this where they send us 6 out of 8.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Wait all those weeks.
I was so happy that we were able to see all of them. Not because we want to brag.
No,
not at all. No, but man, they send it to us. We watch them ahead of time, and man, I don't want to be sitting up here waiting 8 weeks to finish watching this. So I was happy to get them right now. So I mean, both of us are telling you it's decent, man. It's good. Nice. So yeah, and it's good right up until the end, I think. And that last episode, what they set up, I can't wait to see what they do in season 4. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts.